I am so honored to welcome my good friend, Mr. Brett Kissel, to Pure Country. How are you?
Really good, Shannon. How are you?
I'm good. So, we have something exciting to announce, and I'm so honored that we get to talk about this and tell everyone. So, what are you doing in September?
Well, I was so excited. I mean, a few years ago when they announced that the Canadian Country Music Awards were coming back to Edmonton, I don't know if there's anybody happier than me.
No.
Once ticket sales were going, gangbusters, as it's, close to sold out now, nobody was happier than me. And then when the CCMAs said, "Hey, do you want to come and perform on the CCMAs?" No one was happier than me. So I'm really excited to announce that in the first round of the performers, you know what, I get to perform on the big stage at Rogers Place on September 14th.
Yes, I'm so excited. Um, it's going to be incredible. I'm sure your whole family will be there to celebrate with you, which will make it even more incredible. But I have to ask you,
Yeah.
I know you are anybody who knows Brett Kissel knows that you are the biggest Edmonton Oilers fan on the planet. So how do we get some of those guys on the team to come out and show off their country music talent? Because I know they're all huge country music fans.
Yeah, I would say a vast majority of them are. I mean, I've texted them all and said, "Hey, make sure you guys get into training camp early," because they would come usually on the weekend or sort of right after that weekend of the 14th, 15th. They would come after that and get ready for training camp that would probably start on the 18th or 19th. So I'm hoping that a lot of them are going to come in early to enjoy the Canadian Country Music Awards because it they call it Canada's biggest night for country music, and that is true. If you want to see everybody, you want to hang out with everybody, you want to see all these great performances and throw back a few cold ones, well, this is the weekend to do it. So I'm hoping everybody's going to come in a little bit early. And I hope we have a Stanley Cup that they're just going to bring along. So it's not just the CCMA awards that are going to be handed out, but maybe Connor and Leo and a few of the other guys are going to be walking around with the Stanley Cup on the red carpet.
Ugh, wouldn't that be just like the most incredible? It's already going to be the most incredible, but that would be like icing on the cake for sure.
Yeah, I really hope we can make some magic happen. We just got to beat Florida. That's the only
No,
thing. I didn't think they were going to be as good as they are, but
they're
if we
really
can
good.
we can crush them, September is going to be 10 times the party.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I have to ask because I mean CCMA Awards, that is your night. You have one song to perform. Maybe who knows what you're doing. Maybe you're performing like
Yeah.
a million. I don't know, but you have a performance, and you get to like go big for that. So with your single being "Let Your Horses Run," I just have to ask if you are gonna pull like a Shania Twain "Horses on Stage" moment. Just let me know, and I'm totally there to support you.
Thank you for bringing that up. So we have what's called a creative call with the producers. So
Yeah.
Claire, Amy, the president, and everybody who's a part of building the award show, you have a creative call where you determine what the look is going to be. So when we did the performance with 98 Degrees, or when I performed with Serena Ryder, or 10 years ago in Edmonton when I performed on a burning car, you think about all of these big moments. So without a doubt, I'm thinking, how can I get a horse into Rogers Place? Um, and what's the insurance about having a horse in the arena? And what's going to happen if the horse does horse business? And who's going to clean it up?
You.
Is it going to be me? Am I responsible for it? In my tuxedo, do I have to make sure I bring one of my shovels?
You know
From the
what?
farm.
I worked on a farm my whole life. I have lots of experience shoveling, you know what? So I don't want to distract you from your performance. So if the horse is on stage and you need someone to clean up, I got you covered.
Well, I really appreciate it. I think it would be pretty epic to have a horse, or maybe even to ride on a horse and on the red carpet. But then again, I usually think these big extravagant things, and then the Canadian Country Music Association says, "Brett,
Calm
that's going to
down.
be a lot of cost," or "Brett, no, it's not going to happen." So I just got to see. My creative call is in a couple weeks.
Okay, well, let me know what you end up deciding, but I fully support the horse either on the red carpet or on stage because we just won't
Hey,
let them run. We won't let them run.
that's right. No, I would love nothing more than to figure out if I can do what Shania has done. And I remember when I had a chance to interview Shania on the Canada's Country radio show that I did years ago, she brought horses along on tour with her
Yeah.
at a custom truck and a custom trailer. And I thought that was the coolest thing. And I want to ask Lindsay L if maybe Shania might be able to lend me one of her horses because they're tame enough to be on stage.
Oh, yeah. And Tanya Tucker, like she's done Grand Ole Opry with a horse. And it's actually like a friend of mine in the horse industry. It was her horse that Tanya rode. So if you need a horse, just let me know.
Okay, that's really good to know. The answer is yes. If the Canadian Country Music Association allows me to do it, I'll even wear a green saddle because I know it's sponsored and presented by TD.
Dee.
So we'll even have like all green tack if we need to, and a TD logo, and then they'll pay for it.
That is amazing. All right. Well, I support it. As soon as I heard that you were performing, I'm like, how do we make this happen? But like you said, you were talking about Serena Ryder. You've had Cooper Allen. Like you've just had such cool moments, 98 degrees collaborative moments. Dream collaboration for you. Who's still on that list that you haven't been able to accomplish yet?
Well, George Strait is a big one, the king of country music. I mean, he's the king for a reason, and it's I just love his music so much, and I'd love nothing more than to get a chance to sing on stage with him one day. Reba, she's way high up there on the list. So in country, it's Reba and Strait, but then also in multi-genre, if I could do anything with the Eagles, with Don Henley, that would be unbelievable. Or Joe Walsh, Vince Gill. If I could do anything in the pop side of things, my management would say do something with Taylor Swift if you really want to get big and famous. But for me, it's like there's just a lot of great pop stars right now. I've always loved Maroon 5 music. I love Katy Perry from, Lady Gaga. Rihanna is high up there on the
Hey,
list. Like,
you never know.
you never know.
You gotta say it out loud. This is what we do on my show. We manifest things. And then, who knows? Next year we might look back at this interview and be like, oh my God, we made that Rihanna Brett Kissel collab happen.
And I love that because you've got obviously it's recorded, so
Yeah.
we can go back on that. If I'm truly going to manifest anything, though, it would be really cool to see if either Garth Brooks or George Strait would get at the Canadian Country Music Awards the Generation Award. Shania and Taylor Swift are the only ones who have it, and I think Garth or George Strait certainly deserve it. So maybe they can come up to Canada and we can present that to them.
We're manifesting here. Is it I saw you've had 22 CCMA awards in your career.
Yeah,
That
yeah, I
is
think so.
crazy. I was like, when I saw that stat, I know you've had a lot, but to actually see it on paper to know that you have 22, like how special is that? Coming into CCMAs this year, you're playing in home Edmonton, you're performing, and like, yes, being nominated is special. Being a winner is special, but just like having such a long-standing history with the CCMAs.
Well, I think it's really special that it's come back to Edmonton because my first award show was when I was just a kid. I was 10 years old, watching the CCMAs in Edmonton at the old arena called Skyreach Center. I remember watching, Paul Brandt and Terry Clark, Shania, obviously, and thinking to myself, one day I'm going to get up there. All I ever wanted to do was perform. And
Yeah.
then once you get that taste, you say, all I ever want to do is win one. And then, you fast forward and I've got this beautiful, mantle in my music room, and I just kind of can't believe it, and it's amazing to think that I've been in the business as long as I have been, and I've seen the award and the logo change 3 times. you know I feel like Anne Murray, with her 22 Junos, and she had a joke on one of the interviews. She said, I remember when a Juno award was made out of wood. So it's really, really cool. I'm really, really proud of I guess the history, like you said, that I've got with the award show.
Yeah, it's so cool. And you still have so much left in your career, which is got to be like so motivating for you, like to just add what's next for you. So, what is that for you? Like, what's next on your bucket list, Brett Kissel bucket list that you're trying to cross off?
You know what? I really want to open up a different side of me that perhaps my fans in the industry has not been able to see. I've always been the guy on stage that tries to deliver the biggest and best possible show. But now I'm at a state in my career where I really want to tell stories. I really want to connect. And the way to connect is sometimes in a Bluebird Cafe style. So I'm not saying I want to make it like an acoustic record because I kind of did that with the Compass Project,
Right.
but I really want to focus on storytelling or as Dolly Parton said, song telling, and really finds the songs that have great messages, and perhaps maybe go on a tour that would just be me and my guitar and play some really special venues across Canada and around the world. That is something I would love nothing more than, figure out a way to be able to do.
So cool. Yeah, for sure. And I think that it's such a different side of you, like you said, for a fan to have seen the big show already, but then to get to sit down with you and almost feel like you're sitting in their living room performing to them and like telling them stories is such a cool experience for a fan.
It really is. And I saw Garth do it, many times, and he's a huge inspiration for me. And I believe that it's amazing to share the story behind the big hits and to get a chance to walk around on the stage exactly as you described, like you're in their living room or they're in your living room. So if I could figure out a way to do that, that would be incredibly special.
Super cool. Okay, one thing before we go. You've done some really cool projects outside of music. You've got your vodka, you've got, which I need to try. I don't know how you can get me like a bucket of it, but the Kissel
You'll
Crunch.
have as much as you want in Edmonton, and the Kissel Crunch, our
Oh,
collab with
you thought
Marble
I
Slab.
wanted you thought I wanted a bucket of vodka?
I thought you wanted a bucket of vodka. I'm like, okay, I'll just get you a big straw.
Yeah. Get me a
And
big bucket of vodka. No, I want a bucket of the Kissel Crunch from Marble Slab because that sounds and looks delicious.
absolutely, yeah, it is delicious. I'm proud of that collaboration, and Marble Slab is just such a great Canadian company. So when they said, hey, we want to make an ice cream flavor, or want you to make an ice cream flavor, I was all over it.
So what's the next thing? You've got alcohol, ice cream. Are we doing like Brett's Burgers or something like that? What's next?
Maybe, as a guy with Alberta beef, that'd be really cool. I've had a couple conversations with an extraordinary chef and restaurateur, and his name is Darren McLean. He's one of the best chefs, not only in Canada but in the world. And so I would love nothing more, since I bought the family farm, to have specific beef that we raise together for his restaurants. I think that would be a really, really cool thing to tie in my love for great food, but also my passion for Alberta beef, which is the best in the world. So perhaps that might be something that is coming down the pipe.
Cool. And then you can have your Brett's Burgers because
And then you can have the Brett's Burgers.
just sounds
Yeah,
good. Awesome. Okay, well, I cannot wait. Brett Kissel, everyone get your tickets. I know Brett said that we're running low already because the CCMA Awards, everyone is excited for it. September 14th, presented by TD. Thomas Rhett and your good friend Mackenzie Porter are hosting.
it's going to be huge.
Yeah, so good. So Brett Kissel performing this year on the CCMA Awards. Thank you so much for joining us today on Pure Country.
You betcha, Shannon. Thank you very much. And we'll see you on the road, or if not, we'll see you at the CCMAs. I'll bring you a bucket of ice cream and a bucket of vodka.